I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here at the GetGlobal conference in Los Angeles in the Hub Culture Pavilion. Very pleased to be joined now by Lauri Merritt, Pauline Johnson from Radius Worldwide. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Sales Director, Southern California, and Senior HR Consultant.
Correct.
So tell me, Pauline, what happens when it goes wrong, when a company tries to go abroad? Give me a cautionary tale.
Well, often we'll have a client contact us that has already sort of tested the waters internationally, and they think, oh, we've hired a consultant and we have them there for, a couple of months or a year. And now we're really thinking that we might want to establish ourselves in this country. So when we get involved, sometimes at that point, we start to realize, ooh, this client has actually exposed themselves to many risks of the country. And I think the biggest advice that we try to give people when they're expanding internationally is to recognize that your business is a guest in another country. So being respectful of what those requirements are is important, but many of them don't know them. So they will contact Radius to say, hey, we're thinking of hiring a salesperson in this country. What do we need to look at? So we'll provide them sort of an example of these are the options of how you can do it. These are what the costs are. So from a business decision, we'll give you the tools to help you make that business decision. What's the best way for your company to expand into a country?
Lauri, what thoughts from you? What when you are advising a company, what's the kind of number one thing in your mind that you want to get across to them?
Right. And many times over, it's you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right. You can't possibly be expert in every country.
Expect the unexpected.
Right. And you want to do what you do best, right? Which is grow your business, increase that revenue, right? Radius, we're global experts. So we work across 110 countries and can work with companies of all sizes to help them scale to where they need to be. So some companies, they're dipping their toes overseas for the first time with maybe one employee, and then others who are growing to 6 to 10 countries. And what I usually like to advise, what you see sometimes, is they're trying to piece together a solution. So maybe they have one provider for one country who manages HR, another who's managing their tax filings. Radius can manage it all under one umbrella, so it's more efficient, it's more cost effective, and again, we're global growth experts in every country to help them grow and expand overseas.
What's the most difficult country that you've helped somebody go into?
Ooh, I was going to say there's a few countries internationally, like France and Germany, that have so many regulations that for the employer, they have to really walk judiciously, and they really need advice for every single step, because the employee rights are so high that to be compliant in that country for their employee rights is so important. And not knowing it, like Lauri said, not knowing what you don't know is dangerous for a company that's looking to expand.
Right. And when you're speaking to companies who are looking to go global, where are they most often looking these days?
It depends. I mean, it's really where they need to go to grow the business, but also not be afraid of where they need to go. I was talking to a client just the other day who said, really need to be in France, but I'm afraid to go because I heard it's difficult. What can you tell me?
Right.
Well, yes, there are some nuances in France, and they don't make it easy for you.
Right.
But that's where we come in, and we can help you through that process. So other things that many times over companies don't always consider is the steps involved. For example, needing a bank account set up in country. So if you take a country like India, it can oftentimes take an organization longer to set up that bank account than the actual structure overseas. So it's the know before you go.
Yeah.
Lauri and Pauline, thank you so much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion here in Los Angeles, and I'm Edie Lush.